Hello everyone, and welcome back to Jesse Hecht Creative. Today we're going over the West Coast Avengers 5-pack from Marvel Legends. Before we begin, leave a like, hit subscribe, and comment below your favorite figure in this review. It really helps out the channel. Now let's get to it. Here is the box for the Marvel Legends West Coast Avengers 5-pack. On the front we have all the figures' heads over here, the name as well as all the characters in the 5-pack, Iron Man, Marvel's Mockingbird, SpiderWoman, Marvel's Tigra, and Hank Pym. And on the side of the box we have portraits of the characters in this box set. We have Iron Man, Mockingbird, SpiderWoman, Tigra, and Hank Pym. And on the other side we have photos of the figures as well as the logo in the same order as previous. They look really nice here. And on the back we have portraits of the figures' eyes as well as the figures themselves with all the accessories they come with. They look awesome. Now let's open this up and see why the West Coast is the best coast. In somewhat of a top 5, this is my least favorite figure of the bunch. I am not a fan of the white on this head sculpt. It's the same as the Centurion Iron Man, by the way. Though the silver from the Centurion is gone, replaced with a blank slate of white, it's kind of off-putting and annoying. You do get a swivel over here, but it looks kind of weird with this head sculpt. And it does go back and forth, but has a lot of gap and looks just terrible. Not a fan of this at all. I do like the shininess of the arc reactor and the tempo used for it, but the rest is the same as the Silver Centurion Iron Man, down to the stupid pins. And the articulation goes back and forth as well as a swivel over here and up and down and then all the way around. You do not get a butterfly joint, you get a swivel as well as a double joint elbow and down and swivel and hinge. The legs look a really ghastly white and they're just terrible, and even this nicer kind of reddish shiny color can't really save it. And for articulation you get out and in and up and back and then all the way back and then down and then a swivel over here as a swivel at the boot. Now actually you don't, that's even worse. Down and up and then a pivot with peg holes. This sucks. At least I get accessories with these, but even then these accessories we've seen before. The regular old blast effects with the regular old blast effects hands with only a swivel, no hinge. What is up with that? Awful. Iron Man stands at about 6.5 inches tall next to the Silver Centurion Iron Man that's better in every way possible. Skip this, get this. Better accessories too. Next up is Spider-Woman, and she does not look that great at all. Her hair looks terrible. The forehead looks really awful on this with the glue up here. What's up with that? The eyes look very large. There's a scratch underneath her lip, and the lips are way too red, and the hair doesn't look that good at all. There's dry brushing, but yeah, what's up with this? We do get a swivel over here as well as up and down, and then side to side, it's fine. The body is a pretty new body that looks nice. The paint is decent on this one. We do get pinless tech, and it works out pretty well. For articulation, we get a swivel over here as well as up and down and all the way around and then up and down and all the way around with a swivel over here, then all the way up with the pinless tech, working out okay here, but it's really hard to move with a swivel and then a hinge over there, and the same for the other arm mirrored. I actually like the legs. The two-tone is done very well and it looks pretty cool, as well as out and in and up and back and all the way back with the pinless tech and the down and swivel and down and up and then hinge and then peg holes. She also comes with a pair of fists that swivel at the wrist and then hinge, but the hinge is different on this one. It's weirdly offset. It's strange. Spider-Woman stands at about 6 inches tall or so next to the previous Spider-Woman. This one is way better as far as sculpt and paint, but this one I think is a better head sculpt. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Number 3, the middle of the set, is Tigra, and I really like this figure, but I also don't like this figure. Let me explain. The face looks very nice. The paint is done really well, and even though there's no paint on the hair sculpt, it looks good. You get a swivel as well as a hinge up and down and as well as pivot. It's really nice. The body is really nicely done. A lot of stripes on here that are painted really nicely, as well as the bikini looks good, and there's bone pieces on there too. Nice touch on detail as well as fur texture. This is wonderful. And for articulation, we get all the way around as well as back and forth, side to side. There's some gap over there, but it's okay. Up this far and down and all the way around with a swivel over here, as well as double hinge pinless tech and then down and swivel and then hinge up and down. The legs are painted really well too. I love how this looks. It's super nice and really clean. Great job. We also get a tail that's painted really nicely and does have some swivel to it all the way around. Oh my goodness. Just put that back in there. There we go. No one noticed I like there's a little bit of fur mold by the knees, working out really nicely, as well as the feet have claws. They're pretty good. They could be painted here, but it's fine. And for articulation, we get out this far, in this far, up pretty okay, back not really. All the way back is decent, with a swivel up here, and a down and up, and a pivot and pegals. She also comes with a scary growling head, as well as scary pointy claws that look really great. I gotta say though, this one has a little bit of a cross eye going on with the eyes, and that kind of sucks. You do get a swivel though, and then all the way around, as goes up and down, and then pivot. And it's nice though. And the claws look great, but could use a little bit of nail polish on them. You get a little swivel as well as a hinge, and then a swivel as well as a hinge for both. They work out great, but the nails need to be painted. They'll be great. Tigra stands at about 5 3/4 inches tall next to the previous Tigra. I like this one more because the color and also the green eyes. This one is fine though. And more West Coast Avengers right after this. Hello everyone, and thank you so much for watching so far. Make sure to click like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, and hit the bell icon for more creativity. Now let's get back to it. We've seen a couple iterations of Hank Pym recently, and I do like this head sculpt. It looks very nice. Not the psychotic loner brooder he was earlier, but a more stern man. And the hair looks really good on him too. I do love the wash on this. It's super nice and great. Does he remind me of Connery? I think he does. I've been watching a lot of Bond lately. And we do get some swivels all the way around, as well as up and down, and then all the way around on that. Working out very nicely. He has a double ball peg neck thing that the Joes have. This is awesome. We'll see this body later on for Professor X. Not on this channel though. I don't really care about the figure, but this is a decent suit and looks nice. The shiny torso material is different from the arms that look really good over here. I think these are the same arms for Red Skull and work very decently for this, and the back is pretty nice too, especially with the wrinkles over here. I love it. And we do get back, not really, and forward, not really that much at all for articulation, with a swivel over here as well as up. Not really that far. It really just crunched that and just ruined it. Gosh, all the way around for this. With a swivel over here, as well as a hinge going up and being really action figure and stupid looking with a swivel, and then a hinge for this clawing arm, and the same thing the other side, just mirrored. The legs look nice, and there's a lot of bunching up here, as well as some sagginess down here, and the boots look pretty good too. Not really of any material, but they look nice. At least I like this. And the belt also looks good. It's a nice touch, as well as out and in and up and back and all the way back, working out really nice for all the way back and all the way out. Swivel up here, swivel down here, down and up, and then pivot with peg holes. He also comes with a trigger finger hand with nothing to trigger thing that can swivel and then hinge up and down, kind of okay, as well as a fist for punching, swivel, and then hinge over here very nicely. Hank Pym stands at about, I would say, 6 1/4 inches tall next to the previous Hank Pym wearing Scott Lang's outfit. The heads are similar. This one's kind of scarier though, and this one's a much nicer guy. And finally, we come to the reason I got this pack, Mockingbird. I love this head sculpt. It looks so awesome, but it's the classic Mockingbird we all know and love. Love this head sculpt. It's great. The mask, the eyes, the hair, the lips, the expression even. It's all so nicely done, and the hair is windswept, looking really cool. It's so great. We do get a swivel over here, as well as a hinge forward this far and a hinge back nicely, and some pivot. It works out all great for this figure. The body lacks a lot of the articulation that makes all these figures really good, but does have a lot of good paint apps on it and looks great. We do get some cool sleeves that go down over here with a single jointed elbow, as well as a silver looking nice over here, and the paint looking pretty good on these actually, as well as a hole in the back for stands. And we do get all the way around, as well as back and forth and side to side, with an out really far and down really far and all the way around, with a swivel over here, as well as an up this far 90 degrees, as well as an up and down, and a swivel for the hand, as well as a swivel and a hinge for this hand as well, working out very nicely. Like this body, it's really nicely painted. The legs are bare but look good as well, and there actually is some molding with this, kind of strange on that, but hey, what are you gonna do? And the boots are nice, but high heels. I'm kind of worried about those. And we do get out this far and in this far and up this far and back this far pretty good actually, and all the way back works out very nicely with a swivel over here, very clicky, and no swivel down here, down and up, and then a pivot with 2 peg holes in the bottom of the... No, there aren't. Never mind. For accessories, she comes with these 2 holding hands for her stabs later on that swivel and then hinge very nicely on both sides, working out really well. She has a stab that looks really cool. I like the different striations of the metal on it, and the center looks really cool as well. The sides also look great, but there's a cool catch with it. The staff can split in half, and it looks pretty cool either way, whether you have it in 2 or 1. It's awesome. But if you want something bigger and better, here is a staff she has. I believe came with Gambit, and it works well for her. It's super nice, good for pole vaulting and hitting guys and 10-foot poles for Grinches. Here it is up close, looking very nice. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 segments on this. Very good. Awesome. Mockingbird stands at about 6 inches tall or so, next to Sharon Carter. I know they're not the same figure, but it's the shield thing, right? This one looks better. This one articulates better. Just saying. And here is the West Coast Avengers 5-pack all together. We have Iron Man, SpiderWoman, Tigra, Hank Pym, and Mockingbird, looking all great together and from worst to best. Overall, West Coast is best coast. And speaking of West Coast, as of this recording, there are several fires going on in California, and I'm just praying for everyone's safety and thankful for the firefighters doing their job. Centurion Iron Man is a trash figure that is way less of a figure than his previous iteration. Just a terrible character in this case. Spider-Woman is okay, an upgrade from the previous, yet the head sculpt isn't. What a shame. Tigra is in the dead center for me. I can't figure out if I like this one or the other one better, but because of some QC issues, this one isn't that great either. Hank Pym is a really good figure. He's on a body mold we'll see a lot more often apparently, and I love the head sculpt. All in all, really good. He just needs a weapon. And Mockingbird is awesome. Finally, the classic figure that I really love to see. All the hallmarks are there, and a lot of accessories, weapons, as well as different hands are great for this one. If you're a fan of Marvel Legends, the Avengers, or the West Coast, then you'll love these figures. They're all really great. But if you could pick them up on the aftermarket, I would highly recommend getting Mockingbird and Hank Pym. They're the only ones pretty much worth it in this case. But make no mistake, if you need these Avengers, go West. So which West Coast Avenger here is your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching Jesse Hecht Creative. Make sure to click like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. You can also visit us at jessehechtcreative.com for more reviews like this one. Thank you so much for watching, and keep being creative. Stay tuned.